Hello, welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm your host, Toby and joining me is my cohort, Justin Toner.
How you doing?
How are you doing indeed, folks? The triumphant return of the MSTieCast after a couple weeks of hiatus due to computer problems and so on and so forth. Once again, I'd like to thank our new overlords at the X-Pound for hosting the show on their forums. And if you're not listening to this on the X-Pound, go check them out, xpound.proboards.com. You can join their forums, you can leave messages on the very special MSTieCast board, and, tell us that we're doing the show wrong or something. In the spirit of togetherness, because it is November, the most holy of MST3K months of the year, we are going to do a very special thing that we've never done before. One episode a week on the Turkey Day specials, and this week, Turkey Days 1991 and 1992 over at Comedy Central, the inaugural Turkey Days, if you're not counting the very first one in 88, but we're not, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it seems that, MST3K and Thanksgiving go together because, well, the first episode of the show ever, when it was on KTMA, premiered on Thanksgiving night, and so it's not surprising that eventually later, when they were on the Comedy Central, they decided, hey, let's, how about we do a giant marathon on Thanksgiving to have some fun, and definitely the fans really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I mean, what better way to celebrate Turkey Day than watching a lot of turkey movies.
And plus, it kind of worked out for everyone involved because, networks by and large on Thanksgiving usually just put on a bunch of movies because people are, they've just eaten, because it's like they have to compete with football. It's turkey and competing with Thanksgiving football. And, yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with football. So they just put on whatever they can from the vault, reruns, movies from their archive, stuff like that. But with Mystery Science Theater, they get, they get the ratings boost from Mystery Science Theater from people who tune in to the Turkey Day broadcast, and they fill up their schedule for about 30 hours. So, kind of a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, really, especially back then, because this was like the early days when it was on the network, and Comedy Central was still relatively new when they first did the first Turkey Day in 1991. So, it's like MST3K was one of the most important shows that they had on the network, and so it kind of made sense that they would do something like this, and that way you can, fill time and then hopefully attract new people into the show if they happen to be like trying to find something and they, just happen to stumble upon the show and get hooked on it.
And plus, in addition to that, despite what Comedy Central would have you believe, Mystery Science Theater was pretty much their first real success as a network. Not South Park, not The Daily Show. But they really want you to think it was South Park or The Daily Show.
Yeah, these days Comedy Central likes to pretend that Mystery Science Theater never actually was on the network and try to forget that what an important role it played in establishing the network for what it was in the 90s before they started to produce the other hits like South Park and stuff like that, and what it is today. It's kind of annoying and kind of a little disrespectful to what MST3K did for the network.
Especially in light of the fact that a lot of their shows nowadays, with stuff like Tosh.0, The Daily Show, Colbert Report, and their new show at midnight, it's basically riffing on culture and videos, what MST3K did. So it's a little bit disingenuous that they would just kind of stick their fingers in their ears and go la 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 whenever a fan brings it up.
Yeah, very annoying. But anyway, so in 1991 they did the first Turkey Day marathon. It started at midnight on Thursday and lasted until 6 a.m. on Friday morning. So that's 30 hours. 30 hours equals 15 episodes. So that's quite a marathon. And but besides the episodes, the fun part is that they created these basically bumpers for during the marathon that had a bit of a storyline to them, which was really fun.
Yeah, it was the first real hint of them doing the storyline thing and kind of trying it on, seeing how it worked. And the Brains did it pretty well. And the 1991 Turkey Day ones are beloved by all fans. There's some great bits in there. There's really great interaction between Frank and Dr. Riplin. It's just them being like the odd couple that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Frank's trying to cook and Dr. Forrest trying to rule the world.
Yeah, Dr. Forrester is all obsessed about the marathon and trying to project as much pain and suffering across the planet with the episodes during the marathon. Well, Frank just wants to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and and of course, it doesn't help Dr. Forrester that Frank invites guests over for dinner. You've got the number one being Jack Perkins, played by Mr. Mike Nelson, of course, and he can wear out his welcome really fast. And let's see, it was it Robert Plant, the Plant guy that Kevin played?
Yes. I believe they just refer to him as Plant Guy.
Yeah, Plant Guy.
Yeah, played by Kevin Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's basically the Plant version of Jack Perkins. In a way.
Pretty much. They get along great as it's like as you watch the bumpers, they're having a ball just chatting about highbrow stuff. They hit it off, and of course the mole people, Jerry and Sylvia, come on over as well. I like how they brought a bucket of I think it was like dirt as their contribution to the deal.
Yeah, it was like topsoil or something, and Frank said, "Oh, you're still on that special diet."
Yeah. I really enjoyed these. They're very funny. It's like one of the ones I really liked is the one where Dr. Forrester's taking a break and he's watching I guess it's supposed to be the Thanksgiving Day parade, and he remotely detonates one of the balloons, much to Frank's dismay. Just to be mean, just to be evil. I kind of
tricking the entire group into thinking they're going to watch E.T. the Extraterrestrial. No, pod people.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's like, suck on that, Spielberg.
Even funnier considering Spielberg really liked Mystery Science Theater.
Mm-hmm. Now, besides Dr. Forrester and Frank stuff down in Deep 13, you have Joel and the Bots doing their own little skits during commercial breaks, and that's some funny stuff.
Screwing up their own promos.
Yeah, and they even aired them. It's just really funny. Like you can, I think it's Jim Mallet's voice you hear off screen. Like especially I think for like the one server one where he like screws it up and it's like, can I do it again? Oh no, oh shoot.
And Gypsy just doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gypsy dressed up as a pilgrim and she just stares blankly out into space.
Go! You only got 10 seconds. Go!
Go!
Get 5 seconds. Go! Oh, forget it.
Oh. Oh, I like.
I just don't get you.
Mm-hmm. I also like how Crow gives all these facts, but each one is like turkey fact number 12. Every time it's turkey fact number 12, but it's a different fact.
There's like 4 turkey fact number 12s.
Yeah.
Turkeys will drown if you leave them out in the rain.
Mm-hmm. And you got Crow dressed up like a turkey, and I like Servo with the pilgrim outfit and the hat. It kind of works. He looks cute in that. And Joel's are even more bizarre. They're just like completely out there. Like that one with the turkey baster. He's really getting kind of suggestive with that one. That was a little disturbing. Do you remember that one?
I know.
Yeah. Well, like he has the turkey baster stuffing. It's like his are really weird.
Just very abstract and very Joel.
Yeah, they're very Joel.
I don't remember if this is from 91 or 92 when Crow says, "If you're taping, now's a good time to stop." Or was that Servo?
I think that's the 92 one.
Okay. I know for 92 they reran some of the same ones, so I did.
Yeah, they did. And they had a good chunk of episodes that they did during the marathon. It was mostly good chunk of season 2 and a bunch of stuff from the first half of season 3. And some good stuff in there. Don't need to go over every single episode there during the marathon. It's not really necessary. But they didn't start the tradition of premiering new episodes until the following 1990 when the next marathon the following year in '92.
Sorry, my cat was being stupid, so I muted my mic while I dealt with that. Some of my favorite Frank and Forrester segments in this was, honestly, I think my favorite one is when Forrester falls asleep after staying up for 24 hours and Frank quotes Hamlet. And then he starts playing with Dr. F's hair.
Yes. I like that.
He's an angel. What was the other one? It's like he's an angel, he's a pixie, or something like that. Just really, and then Dr. Forster wakes up and throttles him.
Yeah, that was great. I also like the one where during the dinner, or was it like right after dinner, Jack Perkins has already gotten into the liquor, and he's starting to get really annoying, and he starts mouthing off, and so finally Dr. Forster pulls out a cattle prod and zaps him into oblivion.
Yeah, this is where we learn that Jack Perkins is obnoxious, but even more obnoxious when he's drunk.
Oh yeah, he's a lot worse when he's drunk. Just like don't keep Jack Perkins away from the liquor cabinet.
Yeah, and we learn that lesson again in Turkey Day '95.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that eventually. So let's move on to Turkey Day '92.
Yes, Turkey Day '92. This time, the Dr. F and Frank shtick is that he has prepared 15 turkeys, and Frank has to eat one for every turkey we have to sit through. And they're all decoratively themed, and the two movies premiered. The first was Daddy-O, and it's the very first turkey, and it has a beret and a little soul patch on it. And Frank takes those first like 5 or so turkeys like a champ, and then he's pretty much force fed.
Yeah. You know that it's going to get interesting because in the first one where Dr. Forster explains about how like he's going to feed a turkey for each episode of the marathon to Frank, he's got Frank strapped to a giant high chair. He's locked in, so he can't escape. So it's like, just in case Frank decides that that he can't eat anymore, he's not going to have a choice. And it gets to that point in the middle of the marathon where Frank starts crying about how he has to eat another turkey. The first couple he has no problem with, but then as the marathon goes on, it's starting to take its toll on Frank.
Yeah, the Hercules Unchained one. Do I have to eat under the loincloth? Yes. No!
Oh, I love the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians one where he brings it out. It's all gift wrapped in a giant, present box, and Frank thinks it's something great, and he opens another turkey, and Frank just goes, no!
My personal absolute favorite is the Viking.
Yes.
Turkey. Set in a replica Viking ship and then lit on fire like a Viking funeral.
Oh yeah, it's like that one for Viking Women the Sea Serpent was that one was well done. I like that one too.
That was really, really great. I think the Unearthly just had the words unearthly written on it. It was kind of the black sheep.
Yeah. And that was, I think, near the end of the marathon, so I think they were kind of like let's just get this thing moving.
I would have put like some great gazoo ears on it or something, or painted it silver.
Or maybe like even put like a Torgo face on it, or I mean Tor face.
Yeah, something like that. What was one of the other ones I really liked? The Gamera one, which had the turtle shell on it.
Yeah, and even Frank was like, Gamera is really neat and full of meat, turkey meat. and Joel and the bots are doing their shtick up in space again. A lot of it is rerun from the first year. Yeah, there's only a couple of new ones. They reused a lot of the ones from Turkey Day '91, but they threw in a couple of new ones, like one where Gypsy actually speaks this time.
Yeah. Or as I said, the now's a good time to pause the tape.
Yeah, the Crow says that. That's really funny. They also, I think, Joel and the Bots had like a giant. They had a turkey up there in the satellite, but it was like mutated, like it'd been put through like a nuclear radiation or something.
Yeah.
The other big thing about starting with this one was they decided to premiere not one but 2 new episodes of the show for the marathon. They opened up the marathon with the Beatniks, which was premiere of that one, and then to end the marathon, they premiered Fire Maidens from Outer Space. So that and they did, that was the first time they ever did that, and they did that a few more times for later marathons where they would, give the fans something to look forward to, not just reruns, but hey, we're going to throw out at least 1 or 2 new episodes for you as well, so to help get everybody to tune in. Which I think was a nice idea.
It was a really nice idea, and there were a few little great bumps by Comedy Central. It was well promoted, it seemed. I wouldn't know from experience. I didn't see Mystery Science Theater until after it was canceled, so both times.
Mm-hmm. Now, didn't after Fire Maidens they also showed that this is MST3K special as well?
I believe they refer to it as the making of MST3K. I think this is MST3K was later. I'm not entirely sure.
This is MST3K, the one hosted by Penn Jillette, came out earlier in the month. I looked it up. I just looked it up. It was like November 14th. So I think they may have aired during the marathon.
They probably just referred it as the making of MST3K. Which, happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we'll just sum up our general thoughts on first Turkey Day 91. Good stuff. Honestly, out of all the Turkey Day ones I've watched, this is the one I can just kind of watch anytime. Especially on Thanksgiving, it's probably the one I'd pop in. Watch on YouTube or put it on while I'm in the other room eating turkey or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the skit bumpers from the first Turkey Day Marathon for 91, because of the overall just story arc. It's like and the way that Forrester and TV's Frank play off each other and stuff. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of funny stuff, and it's fun to watch it, especially if you watch them all together, which you can find them on either. They're all over YouTube. They're easy to find.
Oh yeah, you can find several compilations of it.
Yeah, there's some compilations out there that put all the bumpers together, not just the Dr. Forrester and Frank skits, but also the stuff during the commercials with Joel and the Bots. But right. Watching it all together, it really strings together and makes for a fun little watch. To kill some time if you're not watching your own episode or doing your own little mini marathon. I know some people probably like to use the bumpers in between while they're watching episodes, maybe on Thanksgiving Day, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Turkey Day streams or live watches on like Google Plus or what have you, where people put them all in order with the bumps where they should be. Very, very cool things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we live in the future.
Yeah. Yes.
And Turkey Day 91 even has a little, as the kids on TV tropes say, a crowning moment of heartwarming when Jack brings Forrester his favorite sweet yams, and Forrester just looks so appreciative and happy.
Yeah. It's actually one of the few moments where Dr. Forrester is actually kind of happy that it's like he was very happy and touched that Jack Perkins brought those because he likes those.
It's a very nice little aw.
Yeah, it's this nice little aw moment, just like the one where Frank covers Dr. Forrester when he falls asleep.
Tucks him in and then gets throttled for his trouble.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I have against the bumpers is that sometimes some of the skits drag out a little bunch. Especially sometimes there's a little. As much as I enjoy Mike's Jack Perkins, it stretches out sometimes a little bit, and it's like there's even like one skit where he's helping Frank prepare the meal, and he's like just spouting off, and even Frank is like rolling his eyes like please Jack, will you just shut up?
Yeah, I like Jack, but the character kind of wears that as welcome, which I think was one of the problems with the MST3K hour, which we'll get into in another show. But personally, I think that was one of the failings of the show, just because the character,
it works in small doses, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. He works in small doses, not something I can sit through for an extended period, which is a problem because he's a big fixture of Turkey Day 91.
Mm-hmm.
Plant Guy is kind of the same sort of character, except he's not a drunk.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But moving on to Turkey Day 92, I like this one a lot as well because it's the jokes. The bumpers are shorter, so the jokes are more rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the pacing problems of the first, which is good because it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
If you want a short little kind of almost sitcom-esque story, you watch 91. But if you want just kind of the jokes, you watch 92.
Yeah. That's the thing I liked about the 92 ones is that they are a little bit shorter, but the jokes, the funnies are on target, especially with the way that Dr. Forster dresses up the turkeys to fit the theme of that particular episode that's coming up. So that was a lot of fun, and just seeing Frank, the roller coaster he goes through where he's okay, then he starts to suffer, and then he's able to finish. It's
and then he's shooing Forster away from the last turkey.
Yeah, and as far as like beatniks and fire maidens, well, we'll get to them another time as far as like what we think about those episodes. So, but these are a lot of fun. Watching the bumpers, it's like definitely a recommend. For maybe newer fans who may not have seen these yet, definitely check them out on YouTube and watch them, and you'll get some good laughs.
Yes, they're something of a must-watch for any Misty. If you really like the show, but you haven't seen these, it is highly recommended that you do so. They're they're all on YouTube. There really isn't anything stopping you. It's not like these are rare or anything. Have these been included in any DVD release to your knowledge?
No, the only ones that are on DVD are the 95 ones. Right. They're on the Night of the Blood Beast DVD. Those are the only ones that are like on DVD quality. It's like you can get like comp tapes, from people online, but
tape traders and whatnot.
But no, those are, as far as I know, those are the 95 ones are the only ones that have been put on a DVD as an extra by Shout so far.
I really hope that the 91 and 92 bumps are put onto a DVD release at some point.
No, you never know.
That would be very, very cool if they could do that.
Oh yeah, I mean they've put out a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, like even they've thrown out, this is MST3K and the making of MST3K and stuff like that. So who knows?
Here's hope.
I mean, one more thing. Probably they'll do it anyway, because Shout is good like that. But Shout is doing their own little tribute to Turkey Day. They're basically the whole month they're offering sales on MST3K box sets and DVDs. Like every day there's going to be a different box set on sale all through November. And I think the singles have been like reduced, a bunch of them, to like $7.99. So I thought that I just saw that the other day, and I thought that was really clever. Just another example of why we love what Shout Factory has done for MST3K. That they're doing their own little thing to celebrate Turkey Day month. I was really impressed by that. I'm not. I own most of the DVDs anyway, so I'm not gonna. I'm not like, oh great, it's like, but for people out there who may not have gotten some of the stuff yet, this is a really nice opportunity to get your hands on some stuff.
Yeah, especially if someone like me who only has one of the box sets, this is really great. I am going to try and pick up at least one throughout the month if I can get the money, and that'll be a nice little addition to my collection. Mm-hmm. The Shout Factory really just is great to fans. They really are.
Yeah, they are. What they've done for the show is just amazing. Not just for the way that they obviously the people work there there's people there are fans of the show. Jordan Fields, and works hard on producing the DVD sets, and just the respect they give it and the respect they give the fans and stuff. And I mean, heck, even I remember when I saw Joel in person first work for myself, he even was like, took a moment to say like how awesome Shout Factory is for what they've done for MST3K. So even the cast is impressed by what Shout Factory has done for the show in releasing it to DVD. So thumbs up, Shout Factory, once again.
All right, so final verdict: Turkey Day 91. Good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Turkey Day 92. Not as story focused, but still very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, I personally would say 92 is funnier, while 91 is a more enjoyable watch if you have the time to watch it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like a lot of the rapid fire jokes for the 92 stuff, but there's still a lot of good stuff for the 91 stuff. It's like it strikes out a little bit more sometimes, but it's still fun to watch.
It is. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about the subject. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, just that definitely recommend it for fans who haven't seen this stuff to check out all this various stuff from the various Turkey Day marathons. And we're just getting started. Next time we'll be talking about the next two following year marathons for 93 and 94. And all that stuff entails, so it should be fun.
Yeah, and I really hope everyone enjoys Turkey Day month. It's going to be an interesting experiment for us as well as the listeners. Again, real big shout out to our friends at the X Pound who are hosting the show's forums, and they're just really good dudes. If you're listening to this and you just know us from the MSTieCast, check out the X Pound and check out their reviews. They're really, really cool guys. If you like wrestling, if you like television, if you like video games, they have a little something for everybody. So feel free to check them out. If you have any questions or concerns, you can message us on Twitter at MSTieCast. We can be found on Facebook, facebook.com/MSTieCast, and of course, MSTieCast.com. And if you want to email us, our email is, as I said before, mailbag@MSTieCast.com. So that pretty much wraps up this episode of the show. I'm Toby Mobius.
I'm Justin Toner.
And this has been the MSTieCast. No!
Now, poopy.